okay? Hopefully you can hear me. This is Laura from livevisions.com, and I just wanted to come on here today and give you some more information. And I don't know, I think that it's important to know the nodes. Major decisions with Saturn and Pluto, major decisions on what you need to let go of, I'm fixing my hair, I'm sorry you guys. It's an Aries thing, okay? We're ruled by the head, right? Our head. Anyway, so here's the thing. Hey, Victor. I wanted to say that we're going to talk a little bit about the nodes, where the transiting nodes are, which is where you need to work at right now, and where your nodes are in your natal chart is really important, okay? I have a video on the nodes, but I felt like it was important to know your life purpose. It's so important to know your life path, you know, because sometimes when people are like, and even if you look at your career reading, if you get a career reading from me, where I look at your 2nd, your 6th, and your 10th house, where the rulers are, you know, if you have any planets in those houses and all that stuff, and where those planets rule what house, all of that gets put together by a puzzle. And you also look at your Venus. Wherever Venus is where you make money in your life, right? So maybe we should talk a little bit about that. Maybe we should talk a little bit about wealth, okay? Now, if you want a personal reading from me, or if you have a tarot question or a question that you want answered, I got my little cards here. So it's, okay, I'm going to tell you, it is going to be paypal.me/livevisions, LIVEVISIONZ, okay? Thanks you guys for coming in, and thank you for the thumbs up. Those of you who gave me a thumbs up, and I have my notes here, okay? Took some notes, and I use my notes all the time, but I'm going to give you some ideas, and I'm going to talk more about Venus, right? All right, so let's talk a little bit about Venus, natal Venus. We'll do that. All right. So I know a lot of people read about their finances and their careers and all that, and they're worried am I in the right path or not. Now, you may have more than one job in your life, like I did. My Venus is in the 8th house of other people's money, other people's resources, finances. 8th house is also metaphysics, right? You know, and I also collected federal funds for the Department of Education. I was in banking for years, right? I also did, you know, I'm also an astrologer. Then I went into tarot readings, so I do both, right? Psychic readings, right? All of that stuff. So anyhow, so we're going to talk about where you have your Venus and what house it's in and what it means for you. But then you got to look at what sign it's in, okay? And those of you who want a more in-depth reading from me, a career reading, the link is, you're going to have to go to the website. I don't think it's below. LIVEVISIONZ.com, okay? All right. Venus in his chart. Has Venus in his chart. His Taurus has... Yeah, everybody has Venus in their chart, you guys. Everybody has Venus somewhere, but you got to know what house it's in. And to know what house it's in, you got to know the time of your birth, okay? So, if you have Venus in the 1st house, or in Aries, this is about self-employment, politics, the public at large, the body. Example, the health clubs. Health, you could be dealing with health industries and all that stuff, right? You could be making your own money, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Self-employment. If you have Venus in the 2nd house, this is to do with banking, investments, accounting, right? Restaurants, teaching, consultants, psychologists, writers, things like this could be your 2nd house. But Venus in the 2nd house also means that you're going to bring the money into your life. You may bring money into your life doing something creative too. Venus is creativity, right? So that's how you may bring in money. 3rd house is communication, right? You may bring in money through arts, through sales, advertising, computers, writing, publishing, all of that, internet stuff too, right? With a sibling, you may make money. With a cousin, with a neighbor, right? You may make money. 3rd house is siblings, neighbors, all of that. 4th house is agriculture, building, trades, real estate, vehicles, right? I honestly feel vehicles is 3rd house. I'm sorry, I disagree with that. Water, geology, and mining, right? 4th house can also be municipal buildings and churches, right? So Venus here, you could make money, especially real estate is the top one, okay? 5th house, okay, if you have Venus in the 5th house, all right? You could make money through politics, through stockbrokers, through religious rituals, entertainment, authorship, right? Anything creative, dealing with children, or yeah, dealing with children, or if you're into a field that has to do with romance or something like this, then you may make money that way as well, okay? Now, the 6th house, Now, I put lawyers here, but I disagree. I'm going to change that back because I feel lawyers would be the 7th house. Military, police, labor, health-related professions, food, waiters, anything of service would be your 6th house, right? Venus in the 6th, it's going to be anything that has to do with service to others, right? 7th house has to do with business and trades and through other people. Females, foreign business also. And it could also be law. Okay, 7th house could be a lawyer or a counselor, something like this. 8th house, again, if you have Venus in the 8th house, insurance, research, death-related industry, like a mortuary or something like that. Metaphysics, astrology, psychic, tarot, all that. Banking industry, or even the sex industry, okay? It's funny because my astrology teacher said I'd be a great sex therapist. I'm like, yeah, I don't, but although I do talk about relationships if compatibility when it comes to intimacy, when I deal with partnerships, when I have a one-on-one session with someone, we do sometimes go there. 9th house, you could deal with law, making money through university teaching, travel, teaching, writing, publishing, religious professions, foreign countries, right? You may make money in that way, right? If you have Venus in the 10th house, it could be a government job, dealing with the public, the masses, managers, and politics, right? The 11th house, trade and business, groups and organizations, you may make money, right? Could be accountants, financial institutions, group work. Also, I want to say politics is this as well, because you need groups and organizations to back you, okay? So 11th house here is groups, organizations, and yeah, I would say politics too, right? The 12th house is where you may make money behind the scenes, right? Foreign jobs requiring secrecy, right? Travel, hospitals, prisons, charities and advocacies, you could be making your money, right? Now let's talk a little bit more about money. We're going to talk about wealth, where you may make like buku bucks. Do you have wealth promised to you in your chart? Do you have major money coming to you in your life, right? So what we look at major things. Do you have 29 degrees Capricorn and 29 degrees Cancer? That's a millionaire's degree. So if you have this in your chart, you will become very wealthy in your life, okay? Very, very wealthy, okay? Now, if you have 29 degrees Taurus and 29, hey, Mimi, write your question. Okay, I'll do your question next. If you have a 29 degrees Taurus, or if you have 29 degrees Scorpio, okay, both houses can be a bankruptcy degree, just so you know. If you have Pluto conjunct Jupiter in your chart, this is a rags to riches aspect. This means that you will all of a sudden be like not so much money, all of a sudden you're loaded, right? Okay. Now, if you have Pluto conjunct Jupiter, I'm curious, I was looking at the chart, if you have good placements between Pluto and Jupiter or Venus, this is inheritance, right? So if you have good placements between trines or sextiles between Pluto and Venus or Jupiter, right? Pluto and Venus and Jupiter, trines or sextiles, you could inherit money in your life, especially a trine would be a good thing, especially if it is with Uranus, unexpected transformation, big time, right? Okay, if you have good aspects between Uranus and Jupiter, especially a freaking conjunction, hallelujah, that is a lottery aspect, right? But if you have a trine between Jupiter and Uranus, that's a lottery aspect too. Uranus and Venus, that's luck with money. Luck, you could get money in your life, but it may not be a ton, but you could be lucky in that way. Now, if you don't have any aspects between Uranus and Jupiter and Venus, don't even play. You're not going to win. You don't have it in your chart. You know what I mean? It's not in your natal promise to win. And I have a lot of gamblers who call me up and they say, no, it's going to win. I'm going to win big. I'm going to win. I'm like, I don't know why you're wasting your money. You're not going to win the money you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? So, and I give it to you straight, okay? So, okay. Then we have Neptune. Neptune is how are you thinking about money? Are you worried about money all the time? Because the more you worry, the more lack you create. So if you have really bad aspects between Neptune and Jupiter and Neptune and Venus, you may create more lack in your life because you worry a lot about money or the lack of money, or it's not going to be good and it turns out not good, right? People who have really good aspects between Neptune and Venus and Neptune and Jupiter have this confidence, well, it's all going to be good. Have you ever seen somebody who spends their money and they're like, don't worry about it, it's so good. I'll be working next week. I'll replenish the account. I'll be fine. And they just have this confidence that everything's okay, and it is. And you're like, how the fuck does that person do that? That's because they have probably good aspects between Neptune and Jupiter and Neptune and Venus. Now you can circumvent this. Let's say you have no aspects, then you're in the middle, right? You're in the middle of worrying and not worrying, right? So, but you can circumvent bad aspects by changing your mindset, right? Like, I have abundance. I will just be abundant in life. I will have money. I am abundant, right? And keep saying that until you believe it and think, you know what, it's going to be fine. It'll be okay, you know? That means you have faith that the universe is going to take care of you, and it will. It will, okay? So if you have your sun in the first house, you can create income by yourself. You may be really good. If you have it in your second house, you have the drive to create your own income. Fourth house, you can inherit wealth, right? Seventh house, you will work well with a partner. If your sun is in the eighth house, inheritance or investments could be doing well for you, investing money, right? Sun in the 10th house, you have a lot of ambition and drive for success, right? Now, if you also have 11th house is your personal assets through business or career. You could make money through your own personal assets, right? And if it's in the 6th, where and who you work with can also show health-related fields of service to others. You may make money, big money help. And maybe good for you, just to give you some houses as to where you may make some dough. So let's get to her question. Now, if any of you have a personal question, sun in the 8th house, there you go. Investments and banking is going to be good for you. Metaphysics will be good for you. Hair of Winds, all of that stuff. All right, here we go. I would like to know if I will buy real estate. Thank you. Gemini sun, rising in Aquarius, moon in Taurus, Venus in Gemini. Not sure what info you need. Okay. Now, to do a full career reading, I really need, like on the website, it's like, what is it, $40 or $50? I forgot what it is. I look at all of that for you, your second, your 8th, your 6th, and your 10th. But right now, I'm just going to do psychic tarot. That's all I can do right now. Okay, if you're going to buy real estate, maybe toward the end of August, but you know what though? Yeah, you know, you could do well with, if you're going to invest money in real estate, end of August, early September, I feel you're going to do well. Let me see what the tarot shows me. This is for Mimi. I feel the end of the month, the end of this month, beginning of next month is going to be good for you as far as real estate goes. But let's see what I'm getting for you. Okay, all right. Born out. Give me your question and I will answer it. Thank you for the donation. All right, here we go. And you guys, you can also send your payment, paypal.me/livevisions, $10. Reason I say do that way because PayPal takes, of course, their cut out of it. You know, sometimes I don't even see it. I don't know what's up with that. But anyhow, okay, here we go. YouTube takes their, anyway. All right, here we go. So paypal.me/livevisions. So here's the thing. You're not sure. This came out sideways. This is for Mimi. This came out sideways. You're not sure if you're going to be victorious. You're like on the fence about investments, about real estate investments. Show me what's going on with her real estate wise. Okay, if somebody's going to give you truth, honest answers about investing in a property, you're going to want information is what I'm saying. You're going to want information about the property, all of this, probably before you invest. Don't do the same thing again. If it is the same property again or something that you were going to invest in before and didn't, don't do it now. Something from the past is a no-go, okay? Show me. Thank you for the $20. I wanted to see. You feel stuck in your head. You're like, I don't know what, you need more information. I see that. But if it's something from the past, it's a no-go. Move on to something new. Something new. A new property, a new investment. If it's something from the past, don't reinvest in that. Then there will be a victory. Then you'll be celebrating. This is what I'm seeing as far as investments go, okay? Later in August, close to the beginning of September, okay? All right. Born on a solar eclipse. Wow. Is he seeing someone else or is he gay? Okay. I'm guessing he hasn't done the moves, right? Usually women ask that when the guy's too shy or he hasn't done the moves and you're like, is he interested and not interested? Didn't get the kiss goodnight? What's up with that, right? So, born on the solar eclipse, is he interested or is he gay? Okay. Born solar eclipse wants to know, is he truly interested or is he gay? No, you're supposed to get married? Oh my gosh. All right. Wow. Okay, let's see what's going on. Is born on the eclipse, is her man interested or is he gay? Show me. Born on the eclipse, show me about her man. What is up with him? She thinks he might be gay. Is he really interested? There's something that's making her bells and whistles go, I'm not sure. Oh, you found a gay webpage? Oh, hell no. Okay, let's see. Is her man gay or is he gay? Or is he interested in women? Is he interested in her? There's the offer of love, Ace of Cups. There's no healing in this. You're feeling the Aquarian energy, unique, but there's no healing in this. Offer of love. This is the Empress reverse. There's no growth in this. There's no growth. Why? Or you're not feeling valued in this. You could be not feeling valued, especially if you're Libra or Taurus, but you could be a woman, a mother. You're not feeling valued. Why? Okay. House upside down. Why? Emotionally you feel manipulated or somebody's being manipulated. You don't feel like you can grow with this. Somebody's stable though. This could be you. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. Let me figure out why. Why? Show me why. I gotta take this. It came out. I got 10 of Cups reversed. Ace of Pentacles reversed. See, there's no like, let me get a different deck. There's no card that says, you know, hey, he's gay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting good cards for a future though. I'm not getting good cards showing Empress reverse is not a good card that says, hey, there's growth here, there's expansion. I can grow with this person, right? So I'm going to use an oracle deck and see what I get, okay? Let me see what's going on with her man. She found a gay website. What's going on with her man? She found a gay website that she thinks he's on. What's going on with her man? She found a gay website. What's going on? Think going with the flow, follow that gut instinct, okay? It's $10 for one question. Live Visions, I'm sorry, paypal.me/Live Visions, LIVEVISIONZ. Strengthening bonds. You want to strengthen your bond with this person. Embrace an ending. This is an ending. This is the World card. So go with the flow. It tells me go with your emotion, what you're feeling. I feel. Here's the thing, your bond may strengthen when he tells you exactly what's going on and comes clean, okay? But there's an ending to embrace here. I'm sorry. I don't think that you're going to hate this person for the rest of your life, okay? I think that you may feel mad right now, but I feel embracing an ending, yeah, feeling alone. You're not going to feel alone. You're not going to feel alone. There's going to be people around you, but I feel you're going to get a well-deserved reward after this, going through this. I don't know why I'm feeling like you're going to remain friends, but you're going to have to take the lead in this situation and, like, call a spade, okay? Love abounds, and I think that you still love this person, but he's trying to get me back. Okay, I think because he loves you. He does genuinely care about you, because I feel like, because this card right here tells me strengthening bonds. This tells me that your bond is good with this person. He really does care about you, but maybe his sexuality is, you know, off, okay? There's an ending. I'm seeing that, okay? But you're not going to feel alone. I really think this person does love you, but not in a way that a spouse should love a person, okay? I think that you're going to get a reward for all you've gone through in this situation, but you're going to have to take the lead and call a spade and say, hey, we got to talk about this. You know what I mean? I feel he's kind of maybe is, okay? But I think he's always going to be an important, close person to you in your life, okay? Even though you may have anger and resentment that he didn't tell you, or maybe he didn't know, you know, But if he's on a site like that, I can see where you would have anger or resentment. Okay, I can totally see that. But I think you guys are gonna have to talk it through. I think this person really does love you, and I don't think they want to hurt you. And maybe it's difficult for them to come out with their family to their. I feel like this is also like I don't know why. I don't know his birthday. I'm getting Libran kind of energy, like a people pleasing kind of an energy. Not that all Libras are people pleasers. But I'm feeling like if it came out that he's afraid other people won't accept him, you know what I'm saying? I'm also feeling like you're going to. I think that even though you're maybe pissed off in the beginning, you're going to. He's a Libra, okay. I'm getting major Libra energy with this, and I'm feeling like I'm feeling like afraid. Like if I come out with this, I'm not gonna be accepted. And you know what? I get that, and maybe the reason he felt like, well, I have to get engaged to a woman, and I have to do this because it's, this is what my family does, and it could have to do with spiritual beliefs and all that stuff. And maybe he feels like family's gonna cut him off. But here's the thing. I'm not so sure about family, okay? But I feel like this person is always gonna be an important person in your life, and he genuinely does love you. Is he living a double life right now? Kind of, sort of, yeah. Should he have told you? Yes. But I'm getting a major fear of I'm gonna be alone. Like I will end up alone, like ostracized for my choice. And it's a shame that he feels that way. It really is. And I think it has to do with a lot with his upbringing. I don't know what his upbringing is, but yeah. So he won't talk about it. He is a Libra, yeah. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think he kind of is, but I know this is not making you feel better, but I think he's always going to be an important person to you in your life, and you're always going to be really close with him. You know what I mean? I think he really still loves you as a person. You know what I'm saying? But he can't help, I don't think, who he is and who he loves. And you guys, no bashing on here, my channel, and who's watching this at a later time. No bashing people who are gay or who are lesbian or whatever. I'm not having any of that because I believe that people are born who they are. And I think that it's hard for some people because they're not accepted, Yeah, and I find that to be a shame that people can't just be who they are because they're so fearful. But I think this is the case. This is the case because I got that love abounds. In other words, he does love you. And he has love for others so much that he feels that he has to be what other people want him to be accepted. And that's terrible. So anyhow, it has felt hard and sad it's felt hard, yeah. You're sad for him. It's felt hard. I'm sad for him. Yeah, I think that he feels he's not going to be accepted. I think that you're going to have to bring it up, though. He's not going to bring it up to you and just say, look, if you are, it's okay. I also love you as a person, as a friend, as like a best friend or whatever, because, if you're almost getting married, you're like best friends, but I just think that he needs to come clean with you, and maybe he just wants to keep it a secret with you, doesn't want to tell his family, maybe he's not ready, and that's something he's going to have to decide, but they may ask questions if your engagement is over. Well, why are you still friends if you're not getting married? And maybe he may ask you to like not say anything and say you just decided to be friends or whatever. It's really no one's business, but I feel like he's feeling judged. He's going to feel judged. And this has to do with an upbringing, a belief system I'm getting, not acceptable, like not accepting of this person. I'm getting major Libra energy with him because we were best friends. That's why I'm confused. You are best friends. Well, you're always going to be, I feel, best friends. Love abounds, that card. You're always going to be best friends with this person. So don't worry about that. And I think that you love him for who he is, but he's afraid because I think he has a very judgy family that I think he's afraid that he's going to lose you too. But leading a double life isn't fair to you either. He's got to come clean. But you're going to have to confront him on it, okay? So, does anybody else have a question? Now, I could talk a little bit about the nodes, okay? We could talk about where the nodes are now, but we can talk a little bit about, some people have a question like, My North Node is in the first house, but it's in Libra. What does that mean? Because it's opposite, right? Well, here's, if you have a personal question, you have to make a payment. Okay, it's paypal.me/Live Visions, LIVEVISIONZ. Send $10 with your question. Okay, so here's the thing. If you, let's say you have, I'm going to talk about opposites. Okay, so people can kind of get help with their nodes, their true path in life. If your North Node is in Aries, or no, in the first house, but it's in Libra, okay, it means that you're going to learn about who you are through relationships, right? You're meant to learn about who you are through relationships in this life. A past life, it was all about a partner, but about being independent with that partner, or that partner was maybe independent with you, okay? Independent from you. So, like, I'm going to give you an example. I know a person who has their North Node in the 7th house in Aries, right? And I tell her this all the time. I'm like, you're too codependent on the partner. South Node, her South Node would have been in Libra, 1st house. In a past life, she felt maybe alone or isolated or by herself with a partner. Like, it was all about the partner. She revolved everything around a partner, to the point where maybe she lost herself and didn't, or her self-identity was wrapped around a partner. In this life, okay, she's meant to be independent with a partner. She's meant to partner, 7th house. Aries means you're meant to be independent within that partnership. No codependency. In other words, you know how some people are like, well, we're like Siamese twins. Like, if he goes somewhere, I gotta go. Or if I go somewhere, like, we don't go anywhere without each other, which is cool. But if you have your North Node in Aries, you got to be independent without your partner a little bit. You got to make your own decisions. And you may feel inside like you're assertive. And, why do I feel so assertive sometimes when my partner gets mad at me? Well, you're meant to be assertive. You have that Aries energy, but you're meant to be in a partnership and be assertive and discover who you are and be more assertive and independent within that relationship, okay? So that's kind of how opposites go, okay? So let's say that you're like 2nd house, you have your North Node in Scorpio, but it's in the 2nd house, right? You're meant to be financially secure, but they're, okay, North Node and 2nd house, okay, you may make money. Your goal in this life is to make money. In a past life, you could have made money for other people, right? To create security for others. In this life, you're creating your own security, okay? Through maybe research, metaphysical, something like this, right? But there could be a little drama. Scorpio, wherever you have Scorpio, there could be drama in your life, right? So, those of you who have Venus in Scorpio, it's a double-edged sword. You could have like gifts as far as metaphysics, stuff like that, astrology, tarot, all that stuff. You could be interested in all that stuff, Venus and Scorpio. You can make money in that kind of field, right? Venus and Scorpio, though, when love is good, it's good. When it sucks, it sucks. Same thing with money, right? There could be a lot of drama in regards to money and or love and relationships. Relationships could be very up and down, whether you have Venus in the 8th house or if you have Venus in Scorpio, okay? So, yeah, so that's just a little information. Okay, North Node in the 8th house. North Node in the 8th house, yeah, your North Node also could be where your obsession is, okay? And you could be obsessed with helping other people with their finances, helping other people with relationship issues, sexual issues. You may be obsessed with intimacy, being close to a person, to wanting that mind, body, soul connection with a person, North Node, 8th house, right? If it's Scorpio, it's going to be intense, right? And, there may be secrecy behind money with others or helping others with their money, but keeping a secret, like keeping things like secret or privacy agreements, stuff like that. You could have feeling of being a sex therapist, something, talking to someone on a private DL kind of down low kind of level about their intimate life, things like this, right? Now that means your South Node is in your 2nd house in Taurus. It means that you created security in your own life in a past life. You created a lot of security for yourself, but in this life, a North Node in the 8th house in Scorpio would be you're creating something metaphysical. It could be you're helping others create security for themselves, right? Through using your intuition, almost like keen sense of self, psychic ability, or you're helping others through a psychic realm, helping them with their careers, with their money, with intimacy issues, all of that eighth house stuff. Just depends, right? So thanks, heroines. You didn't have to do that. That was nice. I know you helped me with my timestamps and all that, and you moderate. But so it just looks to me like Scorpio energy. It could be where your obsession is too, right? So I'm going to give you an example. People who have North Node in fifth house, Leo, right? Leo is actors of the zodiac. You're meant to shine, be out there, be in the public eye. These are where actors and actresses come from. This is where people are seen in public, right? A lot of people who have a lot of Leo planets can be, but North Node in the fifth house indicates fame, okay? Indicates you're known for something. And I have my North Node in the fifth house. And which is weird because I'm a Virgo rising, Aries sun in the eighth house, which is like I'm kind of a private person, right? But North Node in Capricorn, though. Capricorn, you would be known later in life. Capricorn denotes time, father time. It also denotes responsibility for children. And I always wondered what that North Node meant. But I really feel that I'm going to be helping kids who have been abused in a physical way. And changing laws because I have Saturn in my 10th house for children who have been abused and things like this. Saturn in the 10th. And I've already contacted a lot of political figures in regards to this as well and how to get started in this. But yeah, also fifth house is something creative project. So my website, maybe one day it's known or something, I don't know. But in Capricorn, it's something that you build from the ground up, right? It's something you build from the ground up, and it has to do with children, create a project or romantic situation. But you also have to look to where I would have Saturn. Saturn's in my 10th house, so it'll be later in life, and it's in Gemini. So it'd be with communication about something to do with children, create a project, right? Communication will be known, but I do put out these videos, I don't consider myself famous. But I look where my Mercury is because then you have to follow where Mercury is. Mercury's in my 7th, right? Communicating to the public, the masses, the public at large, right? About Piscean, things that are behind the scenes, right? Pisces could be jails, prisons, hospitals. Pisces could be compassion for people who have gone through a situation or have been abused, And I'll be honest with you, since talking about the situation that I'm dealing with in court and helping, I've had a lot of clients say, this is my story, this happened to me, or this happened to my child, and nothing was ever done, and laws do need to be changed to protect these kids. And so I've gotten in touch with a lot, I'm not kidding, a lot of politicians, and to help get some things rolling in that area. And I'm like, always wondered, this North Node in my 5th house, I always thought it was just that I was gonna, maybe I have a baby later in life, or my child is well known. But I want her to be well known for something good, not something that happened to her that's like egregious or horrible. You know what I'm saying? But, it would be that you're known even after your death too, So, so you have North Node in the 5th house, you could be recognized for something. Depending on the sign, now if you have North Node conjunct Capricorn or Saturn, it could be later in life, if it's in the 5th house. If it's Capricorn later in life, it rules time, right? So if it's conjunct Mercury at a young age, you could be recognized at a young age too, right? If it's in the 5th house, right? Mercury rules younger age, So anyhow, let me just see some of your questions. Thank you, heroines. So many astrologers have Aries sun. It really doesn't have to do with our Aries sun. Being astrologer, it has more to do, I found a lot of Virgo rising people tend to be into metaphysics or astrologers or tarot readers, but I do look at people. You never look at people like, I look at the tarot readers, right? And usually the tarot readers are really like, I don't know, artsy with the way they dress and eccentric, and they're like really, You know, astrologers are the ones with the glasses. We dress real conservative mostly. If you notice this, right? My Mars, Jupiter in Aquarius in the sixth notices this stuff, and I'm like, wow, and tarot readers. Not to say that astrologers don't have tattoos and stuff, but tarot readers have like tattoos, and they're more like in the like creative vibe kind of a thing. Whereas us astrologers, we look more like nerdy. I'm sorry to say. We do. We tend to look more geeky and stuff, more conservative type. But it has a lot to do with your ascendant sign too. Virgo ascendants tend to be Aquarians. Also, astrology rules Uranian energy, Uranus, or Aquarian energy, right? That's astrology. So a lot of Aquarius people are very interested in astrology. Now Scorpios too. Scorpios could be very interested in the psychic realm, mediumship ability especially. But they're interested in all those esoteric metaphysical fields. Scorpios hugely interested, right? Now, I'll be honest with you, if you have your second, your sixth, and your 10th house, I'm going to put dollars to donuts, you're in some sort of medical field, right? So if it's or medical field, or you could be healing people metaphysically, okay? So second, sixth, 10th, all water, grand trine there. That would be healing people metaphysically, or healing people through hospitals and things like this. That's what I'm saying. But I do feel like, as far as astrologers go, I do notice a lot of Aquarius people, Virgos tend to be very analytical, analyzers. And I think it has less to do with my Aries sun and more to do with my Virgo rising and me analyzing the shit out of something. Like, I will look at something, I'm not kidding, and I will look at the details of something, and I could sit there forever and just look at something, like, and study it, And some people find it tedious. Like, for me to do my website, it's over 100 pages long, right? Over 130 some pages my website is. Some of them are just for students only, but I remember when I built it, GoDaddy said I might need your own server because your website is so huge. But they don't mind doing the tedious work, like the sitting down for long periods of time, analyzing and making things right, and writing things out. Virgos don't mind that, and they're really good at research, right? They're good at clerical work, research. If they're a lawyer, they may be good at what do they call that? Who's the person who does all the research for the lawyer and puts all the paperwork together for the lawyer? I forgot that. Not the clerk, but she's a legal assistant, or like a I forgot what they call that. Legal secretary, or there's a specific name for this, and I forgot what they call it. But it's where they know the laws and they get everything ready for the paralegal. That's it. Thank you so much, Empathic Emerald. Thank you. But yeah, they get like a paralegal. Virgos would be good at that. They're detail oriented, big time. And it's weird with me going into, dealing with court. I have my Mars and Jupiter in Aquarius in the 6th. Mars conjunct Jupiter. Oh, Jupiter could be law. Mars is your energy. Jupiter expands that energy. And Aquarius is like a big humanitarian, right? You're going to fight for others, right? Big time. And my Virgo rising, it does help. The analytical, your sister works for a judge. Okay, there you go. So, being analytical and detail-oriented. Aries makes me very aggressive fighting. And I'll be honest with you, yeah, when it comes to my baby girl, damn straight. So, but to the point, this has come to the point where my case has gone on so much. I see so many errors that are in the legal system. I'm contacting politicians in regards to things that need to change, things that need to, your sister's in Aries? Oh, and she's a judge? Oh, she works for a judge, you said, right? Yeah, go-getters. Aries don't have grass beneath their feet, right? I did a lot of legwork, and I'm like, look, this is broken, this is broken, this is broken. Why is this, and this happening? How can a child say this, and this person just walk around like nothing? Like, what the fuck? So, yeah, I've been very much a huge advocate of, and I would, because Mars conjunct Jupiter is humanitarian efforts, right? It's where you're going to put your work, your efforts into humanitarian for children or for the rights of others. And it's so funny. I used to work for Department of Ed on defaulted student loans, right? And it was an agency that was contracted through the Department of Education. Let me correct that, okay? And I remember when the economy tanked in '08, they were screwing people out of their commission checks, right? Not only were they screwing people out of their commission checks, but they were telling people that, like, oh, if you take so many days off, or if you go on family medical leave, you know, I remember this girl was pregnant and she had to go to her OB more often, and she needed some time off because she was having complications from her pregnancy. And they said to her, oh, if you leave work early again for another OB appointment, we're going to let you go. And I said, no, you need to read the labor laws in Illinois, because I'm telling you, they cannot do that. It's illegal for them to do that. And I remember me telling her that, and she went in there and told them that. And then the next thing you know, Laura, come in the office. I come in, and they're like, you know, you don't work for HR, this and this, you don't do this and all that. I said, I don't care. She's pregnant. She sits in front of me, man. She's in pain. And she needs to go to the doctor, and you're telling her she's going to lose her damn job? You know damn well you can't fire her. You got a big-ass lawsuit on your hands. And I said, the fuck that. And the labor laws are right in the lunchroom. You don't think a Virgo's going to read that shit, by the way. A Virgo rising, any kind of Virgo in their chart, strong Virgo, they're going to read that fucking labor law shit. So I said, I read it. I was bored, and I read it. And I said, no, you can't do that to her. And then when my dad was dying, I went on family medical leave. My dad passed from Lou Gehrig's, who I found out that, what is her name? Soulful Resolution, the tarot reader, her dad passed from the same thing. I was just watching her video today. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the worst disease ever. If you read the book Tuesdays with Maurice, you're going to cry your eyes out. But anyway, 10th house Libra, there you go. But yeah, so I remember, like, them screwing people over with their commission checks, you know. And I remember I was late a few times because my dad was sick, and they said, well, we're going to keep your commission check. I go, you can't do that. It's already been earned. Give me my commission. If you want to fire me, but you give me my commission. And what it was they were not expecting people to make commission, but people were hitting the numbers, and the economy was tanking, and they didn't want to pay out those big checks, right? So there was me and a bunch of people. So what I did was I got an attorney, and I sent his number out like candy to people that were owed money. And I was pissed because my dad was dying and I needed that money. And they're like, no, we're not going to give it to you. I'm like, fuck this shit. My Aries ass, oh yeah, I wasn't playing. Because I'm like, you know, I need this money to live. My dad has only a few months left to live. This is the last thing I need to do. And it was a contingency attorney, so he doesn't get paid unless you get paid, kind of a thing. But it turned into almost class action suit because they were doing it to so many employees that, yeah, he was like, oh, they hated my ass. When I came back to work, you know, when you're on a family medical leave, your job is secure, but they wanted me out so bad because they were so pissed. But I'm like, why do you start fucking with people like this? It's wrong. Why? You know, like, I was there for years, a long time, and then they start fucking with me when my dad gets sick, starts dying, and I say, look, I gotta go on family medical leave. You know, well, you were late a few times, so we're gonna take your I go, I don't take cigarette breaks, I don't smoke and all this stuff, and you're gonna take, and let me put it this way, it was a $7,000 commission check, okay? So it wasn't no chump change. So my highest commission check at that company was 17 G's, which they took 7 out for taxes. So I'm like, what the hell? No. Give me my money and then fire me. Go ahead. And they said, no. We want to keep you on because I did collect. Okay, I did my job well. I said, but I had to go on family medical leave to be with my dad. You know what I mean? And they knew if they let me go, it's against the Family Medical Leave Act because, you know, your job is secure. But you can't just take someone's money they already earned. And it was actually not worded as a bonus, it was worded as commission in the contract. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I got off on that tangent. But yes, so Virgos will look at something like a fine fucking tooth comb. Aries will they'll fight for something, you know what I mean? Aries is aggressive, assertive, but you got to make sure you're not overly aggressive or overly assertive, right? But Mars, Aquarian energy is very humanitarian-like. Even though Aquarians can be very eccentric, they will stand up for someone they feel like there's an injustice for. And I remember telling my sister, what the fuck is wrong with me before I started astrology? I'm like, I feel like Norma Ray wherever I go, helping people, fighting for their rights and all this shit. What's my problem? And then I discovered I have Mars, Jupiter in the 6th house in Aquarius. So astrology really gives you information, people. Anyway, empathic, they're funny. So anyway, I hope this helps you as far as wealth and career goes. If you want more information, they say that 60% of the population is narcissistic, leaving only 40% empathic. I don't know about that. I'm not sure. I hope to think that 60% of the population are not narcissistic, you know. But I do know that there is a big malfunction when a child says something happened to them and that person, you know, gets arrested, and then they let that person go, and what this child said is like your worst nightmare, and they're like, well, you know, and no, not well, you know, something's wrong, right? Something ain't right, you know. Somebody needs to do some shit about this, because nobody should be walking out of that, like, you know, police station or cell with what this kid just fucking said. So anyway, I was like, no fucking way. And if you knew, yeah. And it's weird because I think about it and I'm like, gosh, you know, I look at my life and I look back and I'm like, gosh, was I slowly in life being prepared for this moment, you know? I'm like, God, nobody would wish this on their worst enemy. You know, nobody would wish this on anybody going through this. And especially when you look at your child, you know, you would put your life down for your kid, right? So, yeah, and you're going to fight for your kid, trust me. But I always wondered what that North Node meant, and now I get it. Great. I'm like, it's in Capricorn. One of the hardest signs is like really building something from the ground up, right? So maybe it's developing new laws to be put in place, but I'm calling organizations and things like this, and calling politicians and working on some changes because they need to be made. But anyway, I love you guys, and thank you for supporting me and what I do. And yeah. And those of you, if you still watch this video and you want a question answered, it's if it's a tarot or anything, or just like a psychic question or something you want to know intuitively what I see, it is paypal.me/livevisions, LIVEVEVISIONZ as in zebra. And then send your question and your email address. Check your junk, spam, and inbox, okay? Because I will email you back within 24 hours, all right? Anyway, I love you guys. What time is it? I gotta look at my phone. Okay, I love you guys. I wish you all the best, and I will talk to you soon. I just wanted to make an appearance today. Those of you who ordered a reading, a recorded reading, I have not forgotten about you. I have a lot going on. Hence, I have been meetings with a lot of people, political people. It's been going on a lot in August, and so I have not forgotten you. All right, so those of you who have recorded readings, you know, there's a 10-day turnaround, and that's because I had a lot of meetings scheduled, and I had to go through those as well. So anyway, I hope this is helpful for you guys, and yeah, look to where your North Node is in your astrology chart. Find the time of your birth, what time you were born. It's going to give you a big indicator of what you're meant to do in life, right? And look at your Venus. Look what house your Venus is in, right? Look at the sign your North Node is in. It's going to give you a big indicator of what you're meant to do, right? So, getting back to key to work, take care. Oh, empathic. Good job. That's a good, you know, they take 60%, King. There's me looking at the fine print. 60%. I'm like, what? They take even more than they used to take years ago. Oh my God, what the hell? Yeah, they take a big chunk of change out of your money, King. But anyway, I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. All right. Anyway, I hope this helps you guys learn about wealth and learn about, if you want a career reading from me, I do offer that as well. But I put the career reading, if you order a straight natal reading from me on the website, regular natal, recorded natal reading, I do include love and career in there. I include your transits, what you're going through right now, and your natal promise. I go through all that with career. I also go through everything with relationships, where you may meet someone, if I see divorce, if I see a second marriage, all that, I go through all that as well. The type of person you're attracted to, how you handle your emotions, how you handle your communication, and yeah, and I talk about you as a person. And maybe I get into sometimes your mom and your dad, especially if it affects, I see it maybe affecting your relationship life, okay? And I talk about your transits. So anyway, if you want a reading, links are below. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Ciao.